Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. The men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night. The inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
And welcome to the Prison Show. It's Friday, September the 22nd. David's got a great show for us lined up, and he's sitting next to me.
You sure? Is that me?
I think it's you. I can sit there and poke you. Yeah, it's you.
That.
Yeah, don't do that. Not on your arm.
Not on my arm.
No.
On my wrist.
Or your wrist. So, I think some of y'all, not all of y'all, or maybe some of y'all, got a little richer. Got a little
I
richer.
wish I'd get richer.
Yeah, I know. So, apparently, TDC felt generous, put $25 on some people's, the good list, the good units got $25 on their accounts for the tablets. So if you sneak on over, slide on over to your tablet information, you'll see TDC. I think they have a little smiley face next to it, too.
Are they trying to be nice because they're on lockdown?
Well, a lot of, I think there's 80 units back up off of lockdown.
Yeah, but 25 times every, how many, 115,000
Yeah,
inmates? That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money,
They
huh?
could use that for air conditioning.
They sure could. They sure could. But you know what? I know a lot of those, the bigger units like Polinsky, Hughes, Stiles, those big units, they're still locked down. And there's, you know, the ones that...
So they can use that money for videos or...
Well, it depends on
books or
what your level is.
music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the you
But
know,
how far will $25 go on a tablet?
it depends on what you get. You know, it all depends. I know at Polinsky on Building 8, there's some people crying because their toilets, they only have one plumber. And their entire toilet, right, Linda? Their entire plumbing system, they're having to urinate in bottles, defecate in their Johnny sacks, and they're throwing it out on the run.
That's
And
nasty.
That it is nasty, and we were told by, or not we, Linda was told by the warden's office. She called up there to assist some G5s on that, and we were told that, or Linda was told that they only have one plumber and they can't get the helpers out because they're still on lockdown. So these men have to wait with their toilets.
So the plumbing boss is the one that's actually running around trying to work on all that?
I guess so.
You know,
So that's anyway.
most time the bosses really don't have the knowledge to do what they're supposed to do. They depend upon the inmates, and when the inmates get locked up, that's why you have so many problems.
Right. So, Linda, we know, right? They're going to be taking care of that, right? Yeah, Linda's going to be going down there with her plunger.
Linda forgets she's got a microphone. She got to turn her slider up and down when she wants to talk.
Slide it on down, Linda.
Slide it on up and down. Well, it's 9:05.
Okay.
We got Marci on the line, and then tonight we got a really good show. She kind of introduced it a little bit, but Marci Marie, social media influencer. She told me to skip the second one. She's also the community outreach coordinator for the Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance. I put on there her other previous position. She's stepped down from that, but she's still on the Texas statewide leadership. But she's
still an influencer.
She's definitely an influencer because we watch her all the time. But then Dani Sneed's in the house.
In the house.
Him and Mrs. Sneed, they're sitting over here watching us. And then tonight we're going to have somebody special coming on. He's been on the show before, but we're going to give him a shot and let him be on every couple of weeks. Abraham Bonowitz.
Yep, he's going to be doing a little statewide
death penalty for the U.S. and different places. So.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really good show. And Marci, you're already on there, aren't you?
I'm here, yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you go out and get your belly full tonight?
Hey, we did get our belly full, and we're here at a community event for Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance. We had a team-building dinner, and then we had a Rangers game, and I have our project director, Jennifer Toons, right here with me. She's also the co-host of my podcast on the Rec-Yard Women's Prison Podcast, and we're happy to be on.
Oh,
hey, y'all.
Welcome, Jennifer. You hadn't been on in a minute.
I know it's been, working 3 different jobs has been juggling, right?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I've got about 3, maybe more.
Yeah. I think we're all juggling. Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear you. What you guys got going on over there?
Well, we wanted to talk a little bit about the things that Lioness is doing to basically address the statewide prison lockdown. And I know that a lot of you kind of see this group of justice-impacted women, and even though we're lifting the voices of women that don't get lifted very often and the special needs of incarcerated women, the work that we're doing absolutely affects the men in a positive way. So we kind of wanted to talk about that.
Well, go right on ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So, recently, I think it was last week that TDCJ had posted on their social media a very sanitized version of what statewide, lockdown looked like. And our response was pretty immediate, right? Like, because the problem with the state is what? That they're always trying to control the narrative. So we watched the video on our social media together, and there was about 4 or 5 of us that really kind of fought back and pushed back on that narrative and really explained to the public that, no, this is not what lockdown looks like. And I think that's an important part of what we're doing is really trying to make sure that our narrative and our story of system-impacted people is heard.
Absolutely. I was thinking about, first of all, this video kind of, when I watched this video that TDCJ put out, basically I felt like I was being called a liar, and our men and women on the inside were being called liars, because what we do know is they are not getting fed properly. Those Johnny Sacks are, no, not at all. We're hearing that from units across the state are singing the same story. And so the nerve of the agency to put out this video showing these nice, wholesome meals that are supposedly being served. And so just things like that, we needed to make sure that the family members and the public out here know the truth, right?
Absolutely.
And know that their loved ones inside. Yeah. Don't call us a liar or diminish our experience or act like everything's just all gravy in there, because we know the folks inside are hungry, and we're out here fighting for that. Another thing that Lioness has done on that same kind of that same pathway is that we have gotten 2 different news outlets to cover the story about the malnutrition and the horrible feeding times. We know we're getting reports that some of these guys are going 10 hours between meals, and it's just nonsense.
And it's at different units that I'm hearing it. You know, it's not just at one unit. We're talking Stiles, Ellis, Hughes. It's different units that are saying this.
You're exactly right. It's different units, and it's different units all across the state, including women's units. We're getting the same reports about the food. They're all telling the same story. We know the truth, and we're going to make sure that the truth that you guys inside know in your hearts and your minds, we're making sure that that is told out here on a major social media level.
Now, of course, we don't condone or we don't, promote cell phones, but the TikTok videos showing the actual food that one guy had.
Absolutely.
And then I was laughing because they said they were showing all the cell phones that they found, supposedly, and he was inspecting a bean chute like somebody had a cell phone stuck in the bean chute.
Right.
Those doors are solid steel. There's no hiding place in that door for a phone. So
absolutely not. You and I have been on the other side of those stainless steel doors, and we know for a fact that video was not made to portray the truth. It was made to mislead the general public about what goes on inside Texas prisons.
Yeah, staff members finding the very contraband that they brought in.
Absolutely, like the all-red unit with the officer with the gummies.
Yes, I was so surprised, and I thought that an officer getting caught in the middle of this chaos lockdown, this massively search and all of this, and then still being bold enough and confident in their actions enough to take a baggie of gummies that were supposedly laced. The preliminary tests showed that they were laced. And it goes to show you how confident that officer was and how often that goes on. That's everyday operations for them.
Yes, every day, because clearly the man,
he thought he had it down pat. He was going to walk right in with them gummies.
Yeah, and they looked like actual gummies. I mean, and with a little powdery substance on top.
They did. You know what they did? You know what they looked like for all you old schools that did time a while back or that have been locked up a minute. I remember at the beginning of my time, they sold orange slices, the candy.
Yeah.
And so you guys, that's what he got caught with, a Ziploc bag full of orange slices except for different flavors. And he was just rolling right up into work in the middle of this statewide state of a state of an emergency inside our Texas prisons, and just was confident enough to take those right on in.
He sure was. And there was another unit where an inmate was hospitalized from several officers. And
they beat him up.
They beat him up. And
I saw that too.
Was that at the Cofield unit? I believe it was the Cofield unit.
There was, I think that there was a death on the Cofield unit by his cellmate. There's a lot of violence going on, and so what do we know? We know that heat exasperates violence.
Absolutely.
We know that hunger, being hungry, exacerbates violence, and we know that being locked down exacerbates violence.
Oh, absolutely. Everything that you mentioned. At the Stevenson unit, one of my friends said that the kitchen captain took a group of Johnnies, and one of them was marked with a black marker. She went over there and took this black marker Johnny sack, and it had a big burger in it, all this good food, and they took photos of it, and then the rest of the Johnnies were handed out, and they, of course, had,
Golf-ball size pizza.
No, they were bologna that was...
The green bologna?
The green bologna, and, they got those, and that one sack was taken back, but the photos were taken of that one sack. So the Stevenson unit looked like they were getting this gold, and everybody,
Right.
I'm sure it goes on at every unit just like that.
Yeah, I'll just say between Tunchi here that's with me, between her and I, we have 30 years inside. We have at least 60 lockdowns that we were served Johnny Sacks, and we remember that. We remember getting the burritos that were still frozen on the inside. We remember getting the pieces of salami that had green slime on them. We remember getting the soggy bologna where the bread had just kind of turned into this gummy mixture on that bologna. We remember all of those things, and I want the guys inside to know that are listening, and any ladies that are inside in your hearing range, to know that every time we have a good meal out here, we think about that. We think about them, and we're not going to forget them, and we're out here, and we're just going to continue to spread awareness. The best way that we know how is with our voice, using our own lived experience, and we're going to keep fighting until things change.
And we're going to keep, every time you post a video, we share it to make sure that everyone knows the food is not like TDC says.
We're here to support you any way we can. We want to give you that platform, and this is, I know we're talking tonight, but this is your time. This is your time to share what you guys have got going on, and for you to give your messages how you need to give them. We appreciate all the work that you guys are doing.
Yes, and likewise, we sure appreciate you guys offering encouragement inside. That means so much. And from being locked up, how hopeless you can get to feel, and how you can start to feel like the people on the outside don't really care. But those folks inside need to know that there's a whole army of formerly incarcerated people going to bat for them on every second. I mean, at every turn.
We've got about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
30 minutes. Some things that we've got coming up. There's a big conference next weekend that me and Marci will be at. It's about higher education in TDCJ. And, in my other capacity, I work at the Coalition of Texans with Disabilities. I work at the Texas After Violence Project. And me and Marci will be there. Lioness has really fought hard to make sure that higher education opportunities are equitable. Oftentimes women and people with disabilities as a whole are not offered the same opportunities as the guys. And that's not the guys' fault, right? That's CDCJ's fault in the colleges. So we'll be there spreading awareness, and then we'll also be at a national conference in November talking about higher education opportunities.
We will be, and on that conference that's coming up, hey, it's in Huntsville. I'll be close to you guys, and I get to I get to talk about social advocacy through storytelling and kind of just the power of our story. And I think all of us that have done time and get out and tell our story in an authentic way, I think that is so impactful and huge. And so I'm excited to share that message. And hey, so anybody that was locked up with Jeffrey Taylor that did 25 years and got out, and he did time everywhere. He got out this year, and I'm just excited. I had about an hour-long conversation with him today, and he's going to start on social media, and he's also a veteran, so he's doing some things, and he's down there in the Houston area. So I'm connecting him with some other advocates in that area, and so that's really exciting news.
You need to connect him with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know why I didn't think of that until we were on this call, but I'll definitely do that. So yeah, he's ready. He and I did an interview with ABC there in Houston, the Houston ABC, and we were talking about the lack of climate control and how that impacts our mental health and our physical health. And he got to participate in that. I was able to connect him with that reporter, which was amazing. And, you know, we're here at the Rangers game. I need to say that the Rangers, it's over.
No,
So-
it's in the bottom of the seventh, and it's Rangers 8, Mariners 4. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah, so
Woohoo!
we're having yeah, and the Rangers have got these new uniforms, and so we were checking that out. They're kind of, you know, I'm 44 years old, and I remember the uniforms from when I was a kid, so they're a little different to me. But everybody seems to really like them. But they're like black and white, and the logo is kind of, it's like edgy.
Yeah. Hip and cool.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Well,
Yeah.
how can the guys and the gals get a hold of you guys?
So they can. Do you have the PO box address?
Well, of course. It's Lioness Justice Impact, the Women's Alliance. You can address it just to that or to Marci, to me. And it is PO Box 12051, Austin, Texas 78711.
And then for the folks that my website is www.marcimarie.com, MarciMarie, and my PO box is there too. And I take calls and letters and emails from loved ones. If you tell your loved one on the outside to get a hold of me because you want me to know what's going on a unit, I'll help bring it to light. No problem.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us, and all you guys doing time, and just know that we're with you. We love you all.
All right. We'll see you in about 6 weeks.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Linda's asleep. What's up, Dani?
How you guys
We got
doing?
Dani Sneed in the house. You better get you a microphone. You can't be yelling in the room.
Thanks a lot.
Hopefully,
Thanks.
Javier's got B mic turned on.
So, again, thank you, David. Thank you, Prison Show. And let's thank the founders. The way back when,
Ray Hill?
Ray Hill,
Yeah.
that created this platform, they thought it was important when social justice and all the things we talk about now was the things they said in quiet but not out loud. So what I think Ray did is he said the things out loud
You
that
gotta
people were saying.
Talk in the mic.
I believe Ray Hill said out loud through the Prison Show what people talked about in secret.
Right.
And
Yeah, Ray didn't hold no punches.
And the society was very aware of what was going on, but nobody wanted to talk about it because there was no angle. There were no platforms to really advocate what was going on in TDC. There was no voice for prisoners, but Ray Hill became their voice. And then during our era, I point to people like Ann Richardson, which played a big influence on when I went to prison because the reason I got involved with the criminal justice system was substance abuse. And the society was treating our behaviors and not looking at addiction as a medical problem. It was a behavior problem. If you get high, you break in somebody's house, when they arrest you, they don't ask what was going on before you broke in the house. They charge you for burglary or habitation.
Yeah.
They put you in TDC. They give you 3 or 4 or 5 years. While you're there, you play dominoes, you play knock, you go through a few lockdowns, go to rec, do push-ups, and you get out, or I got out and returned to the same environment, the same people, in the same place that led me to prison. And I wasn't aware that I was caught in a vicious cycle of recidivism. I played a part in it, but it was environmental, meaning that when I went down there, I may have changed to adjust to prison living, but that's a whole different world. The society, when we're in prison, we have to adjust to that lifestyle, that environment, which is the matrix compared to society. So, again, let me go back and identify myself. My name is Dani Sneed. I'm a U.S. Army veteran that went into the military out of high school. Recruiter came in, and you know what? He described all my dreams that I have been having since I was a 12-year-old kid. And my dreams begin with encyclopedias. That was my YouTube, Instagram. That was my TikTok. That was my Facebook.
Google.
That was my Google. And I would go through these encyclopedias, and if I saw a picture that was interesting, I would read about that picture. And it's kind of like we do on Facebook. If we see the story interesting, the little cat is doing something crazy, we hit it and watch it all the way through, right?
Absolutely.
And another one of my early dream, I want to call them models or things I look to, is in the classroom they had a globe. You remember the globe, the spinning globe? Yeah. And if I got in the classroom and everybody hadn't sat down yet, I would go to the globe, and with my pen, I marked Texarkana, Texas on the map where it was, and I'd juxtapose it toward the whole globe. And I would put my finger here, and I would spin. I was like, wow. So I would visualize, I'm here, but one day I want to be on this side. And so that's how I would dream. And so when that recruiter came in, it was like he's saying, Danny, you know where you was pointing your finger at? I can take you from Texarkana to where you saw on the other side of the globe. And in 1985, when I was in Korea, and I thought about it because I was only like 20 when I was in Korea, so I hadn't been that far removed from dreaming. I climbed this big old hill in Korea, and it was a moonlight night, and the moon was like, if you climb up on this hill and you reached up, you could touch the moon. And so I climbed up on this hill, and I sat there, and I thought about, I dreamed myself on the other side of the world in that classroom looking at that globe. But what I'm saying is not a unique story to myself. I'm talking to a lot of veterans that when they join the Army, that's what we join with, leaving our neighborhoods, leaving little small towns, single-parent mothers, poverty. Yes, the military was going to give us an opportunity to experience things that we didn't have access to as growing up in our families. And so I got to say that it was life-changing. And but that was what happened. But things changed when I got out of the military, like it does for a lot of veterans. And what happened was the expectations that I had when I got out was, man, they're going to have a ticker tape parade for me. Man, every job, I can get any job I apply for. Man, you know when that movie Scarface and that blimp went across there and they say, the world is, what was it? On Scarface, on Al Pacino?
Yeah, I know.
The world is mine? Is that what he said? So that was me getting out the military. When I got off the plane, touchdowns in the United States, and I thought I had a golden ticket to anything I wanted. And I started applying for jobs at the post office in different places, and they told me now, like, how you going to tell me now? Man, I'm a decorated, honorable discharged U.S. Army veteran, and I got a high school diploma. So I got two things working for me. And those expectations set up a lot of resentments early when they were turning me down. And how I dealt with that feeling, I medicated it. That rejection, instead of going to the VA, I went to my homeboy, Ray, and got my medicine. See, if I went to the VA and expressed all these anxiety and all things, they probably would have did something about it, you know. They may have prescribed me something, but it would have been legal. But when you go to the neighborhood and you start talking about you going through stuff, somebody's going to put a bottle in your hand or a beer in your hand or a joint in your hand.
Well, most of the time in the hood, they'd rather give you a beer than they would a sandwich.
I'm
you
just
go
saying.
ask for a sandwich, and they're going to look at you like, what's wrong with you, man? Here, have a beer.
Man, I'm feeling bad today. Man, go look over there in that cooler, man.
Yeah.
Get you a beer.
Ray.
Right. And so, and that's not just a unique experience that I'm talking about that happened to me. The reason I like doing this platform and talking to an audience of incarcerated veterans is because those things were set up for me to be successful. I didn't have the life skills or the tools to deal with when things didn't go my way. I still kind of the little baby you take. I want my bottle, and the military don't set you up to deal with rejection because they just your mama. You know, when you go in the military, yeah, we're doing things and defending and learning all these tactics, but we're sheltered by the discipline and the officers, the sergeants. They're really controlling our lives more than we control them. And we don't realize that consciously until you're not up under that strict discipline and you go back out in society and you ain't got to get up and report to formation anymore. You're not accountable to anybody but yourself. So now that discipline, I have to be my own structure in my life. I wasn't ready. I still needed some structure from someone outside of me telling me I need to do. And guess where I found that structure at, Dave? The penitentiary.
Yeah, how many times did it take you, though?
I went to prison 3 times.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was, and I'm going to be candid, prison for me became more therapeutic than being out in society. Because when I was in prison, unlike some people, I didn't seek out how to get high while I was in prison.
Right.
I thought that was hypocrisy. Like, this is too hypocritical. How I'm going to be here behind drugs and alcohol, and then in prison seek out drugs and alcohol? Man, I'm like, the last thing I was worried about in prison was freaking getting high. Like, dude, I gave up everything, lost everything behind drugs and alcohol. There's no way I'm going to be in prison trying to get high. I'm trying to figure out now. I got time. I'm clean. I'm eating beans. I'm going to rec. I can focus on the things that I forgot to focus on. I'm not glorifying my time in prison.
You know, my problem was every time I'm the same as you. On the inside, I do the right things. I had a job. I went to chapel.
It's 3.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I volunteered. I volunteered in chapel. I ran a soundboard and I put a library together and stuff. But yet I'd come out and I'd relapse. I'd drink. I'd chase the women. I'd do all the things. Start smoking weed. Somebody gave me a bag one time and said, "Man, roll me up a doobie." And I'm like, "Man, you know I'm sober. I can't do that." And they said, "Man, you can just roll it. You don't have to smoke it." And that's all a trigger. I mean, if you're just around it and you're doing it, it's a trigger. So the last time I went down, I know I've heard your story before, and you're like, "What can I do to stay out or whatever," right? So my deal was, and I told a good mentor of mine, is it just doesn't make any sense. Every time I go back, I do the right things. I do everything I can in preparation to get out, and as soon as I get out, I do the wrong thing. It makes no sense at all. And I prayed about it. I really prayed. And I know we're not a real religious show, but I mean, I got to say this. I just really felt like I was supposed to do the same things out here I was doing in there. As long as I'm volunteering. I'm here at the prison show. I'm volunteering. I got a job. I work all the time. I mean, I'm doing all the right things now because I had to take that same pattern that I was using on the inside, outside. That was the only way it's going to work. I mean,
someone told us that when you leave prison,
you
leave all stuff behind.
No. If you're doing the right things in there, you need to bring all those right things back out.
Your family will tell you and people close to you, that's your past. Let that go. But what they didn't realize is there was some good things going on while I was there that I didn't need to let go.
You got to eat the meat and spit out the bones.
I need to bring them out here with me. But I don't want you guys to know that because I'm short on time. If you are a veteran and you soon to get out, the opportunities and the benefits are growing every day for veterans getting out. They also have a program for veterans that are incarcerated. If you haven't heard about this, it's called Healthcare for Reentry Veterans, HCRC. The Healthcare for Reentry Veterans is a program provides support, information, and resources to veterans incarcerated and those interested in their well-being. This program works to facilitate a successful transition into the community in the effort to prevent homelessness, reduce the impact of medical, psychological, and social problems, improve the veteran's level of functioning, and decrease incarceration rate. So this program is designed for veterans that are in prison. So you guys have the resources inside to ask about this. Like, I don't know which units they're at, but there is a health care for reentry veterans program ran by the VA. When you get out, you're looking at housing first, meaning that if you serve 2 years and when you get out, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your local VA. And you don't even have to wait. You can start reaching out now to the VA, your local VA in your city. You guys got tablets now, which blows my mind. And I just don't understand. I mean, I know it's rough down there, but we got one phone call every 90 days for 3 minutes if you didn't catch a case.
That's it.
I'm going to say that again.
Sorry, it's time to close. Sorry.
Time up.
Okay.
So how do they get a hold of you?
So, guys, write me at 4640 Main Street, Houston, Texas, 77002, care of Dani, Sneed, Sneed, the Cnvrge.
There you go. Thank you, Dani. Sorry we missed you a week or two ago, but we're trying to make it up now. You did a good job. You're always such a great guest tonight. We always love having you over here. All right.
Thank you.
So now we got Abe.
We got Abe.
So, hey Abe, how you doing, man?
Hey everybody, greetings to you all. I'm so glad to be with you, and I'm doing all right. I just got off of the road. I drove 925 miles from Oklahoma City back home to where I live in Columbus, Ohio, today. So it's been I'm a little bit exhausted, but I'm grateful to be with you all.
So you want to introduce yourself and then tell us what's going on?
Sure. Well, so my name is Abe Bonowitz. I live in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved in this work in the work to stop executions and abolish the death penalty for over 30 years now. My first time really getting engaged in Texas was in 1998 when I was the lead organizer on what we call the Journey of Hope from Violence to Healing, which was led by murder victim family members, a guy named Bill Pelkey. Many of you may have heard that name. And that's the first time I was on the prison show, when Ray Hill invited us on, and Dave Atwood has always been a principal leader for us and the Journey of Hope, and so that was my first connection in, and just now, most recently, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about, but the one thing I want people to know about me is that I feel like I'm like a lot of people. I'm not directly connected to prison. Don't have any instances of real violent crime in my own family's experience, not in recent generations. And when I was first confronted with the issue of the death penalty, I argued with the speaker. I said it's an eye for an eye, and I'll pull the switch myself. And then in trying to prove those anti-death penalty people were wrong, I found out that I was wrong. I proved myself wrong about the death penalty, and that's really what informs how I do my work as the co-founder and executive director of a relatively new organization in the movement called Death Penalty Action. We were started in 2017, right when we saw Donald Trump getting inaugurated, and we knew federal executions were going to be coming. And we looked around in the movement, and there really wasn't any entity that we felt that they would actually provide opportunities for action by grassroots level people, by everyday people. And that's really what we do, is we try to make sure that there's tools for people to take action, no matter where they're coming from, to oppose every execution that occurs, whether there's guilt or innocence, no matter what the issues are. We stand vigil and we protest, and we make sure that there's a spotlight shined on every single execution. Obviously, some get more attention than others. Great examples, are where there's, innocence issues, for example. So I want to, of course, especially shout out to Melissa Lucio and all the ladies there at Gatesville, Taylor and Kim and Linda and Brittany and Darley and Erica. you're all in our prayers, and Melissa has always been advocating for everybody. That's one of my favorite things about her in particular. I ended up running that campaign we did last year for and with Melissa Lucio and her family to promote the film, The State of Texas versus Melissa. But, we were all over the state with her family sharing about that film and what people needed to know. And I'm pretty confident that had a lot to do with the governor deciding to whisper over to the Court of Criminal Appeals, say, hey, get this off my desk by giving her an evidentiary hearing. That's how these things work. The governor knows he has to do something but doesn't want to. He whispers over there to the courts. And in any case, we saw that with Rodney Reed, and we saw that with Melissa Lucio, and there's so much we could say about all of these things. But the nutshell is just trying to fill up, just trying to give people tools for action. And there's a lot more I could say, but I'll stop and see what else you want me to focus on.
Well, you've still got 10 minutes, so the reason why we invited you on is there's a lot of things that are going on in the death penalty that's not dealing exactly with Texas death row. So
sure.
We missed David Atwood. David Atwood was a big voice, and before David Atwood, we had several other death penalty reporters. And that's your official title now. We want to hear what's going on in the world today around the death penalty. So,
all right. Well, here's a couple things. One is you should know that just yesterday morning we had the 1,576th execution since the resumption of executions in the United States in 1979, and that was Anthony Sanchez was executed yesterday in Oklahoma. We have he's always maintained his innocence, and our organization took a campaign and built a campaign for him to expose all the issues. And the challenge that he had is the same thing that Arthur Brown had and that Bobby Fratta had earlier this year in Texas, and also a man in Missouri, Raheem Taylor. All these guys were executed despite having real claims that should have been heard in front of a court. And this is one of the bad things that's going on in the law is this thing called procedural bars, which means essentially if you've already had one and you missed it and you got something else you want to bring in front of the courts, it's too bad. And it's perfectly okay with these people if we execute people, but not only who have innocence claims, but also, for example, I'm blanking on his name, but a man that was executed in Texas earlier, that they dug up evidence that his jury foreperson was a racist. And that should have come in front of the court, and he should have had a new chance at a sentencing hearing. But again, too late. So that's one of the things that's happening. And, much more we could say about just that case, but I want to also note another systemic attack that's happening on justice and on our Constitution. Just earlier this week, 14 attorneys general from 14 different states submitted an amicus brief in a case in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, in which there's a person that's arguing he has intellectual disabilities and should be able to should be not executed because of that. And these attorney generals are arguing that there's this evolving standards of decency doctrine that the U.S. Supreme Court looks at, and for 50 years, the precedence has been that we recognize that there's evolving standards of decency and that the Eighth Amendment means something, that human beings have dignity and should be treated with respect and have access to the full power of the law in their defense. And these attorneys general are arguing that they should do away with that they should quash 50 years of precedence in that regard. So these are some of the bad things that are happening. And again, so much more we could talk about. In Alabama, they're getting ready to experiment with a new form of the gas chamber for executions. They're looking at using nitrogen hypoxia to smother people. In South Carolina, they've announced that they're ready to resume executions now that they have the gas chamber and the electric chair. And well, actually, in South Carolina, it's the electric chair, the firing squad, and lethal injection. And they just announced that they've gotten new drugs, so we're going to see what happens there. You know, we have another execution coming up in Florida where the governor in Florida, Ron DeSantis, is using the power to set execution dates and carry out executions to help prop him up in his run for the presidency. That's one of the things that the United States, that Death Penalty Action has created, is a checklist, and we've asked every presidential campaign to commit to at least telling us what's their position on the death penalty so that we can then start asking them questions that will call into question their support, you know, the reasons that they use to support it. But, you know, there's Ron DeSantis in Florida trying to catch up with Donald Trump in terms of numbers of executions. And so they've got another one coming up on October 3rd. And as you know, on October 10th, Judge Murphy is scheduled to be killed on World Day Against the Death Penalty, October 10th. And they've got, and it always seems like Texas, whoever sets the dates there, looks at the calendar and says, you know, what's an interesting day for us to carry out another execution? And you know, so World Day Against the Death Penalty, or often they'll sign one on International Human Rights Day on December 10th, you know, so there's that. But I want to lift you up also and let you know that it's not all bad. And the good news is that the numbers of executions are down overall, not just the numbers of executions, but the numbers of new death sentences and even the numbers of capital indictments. Okay, and that's all as a result of a strategy that's been in play for, you know, pretty much since 2007. I was a part of helping create that strategy. And it focuses on, in particular, reducing the numbers of new death sentences. You know, you may have heard the parable about, you know, those people drowning in a river and people are trying to get them out, and somebody starts running upstream and they say, hey, where are you going? And he says, I'm going to try to keep people from getting in the river in the first place. You know, and that's kind of what's helped move us to that place. But the other thing that's happened, the other good news, is that this week Glenn Simmons in Oklahoma became the 11th Oklahoma exonerated death row survivor and the number 195 across the country on the official list. And we also had a new exoneration from death row in Oregon. But I want to tell you about Glenn Simmons. He is now the longest serving exoneree, death row or otherwise, 48 years, 5 months, and some days. And the first 2.5 years of that on death row in Oklahoma, and they knew he was innocent even before they took him to trial. And even his prosecutor soon came out and started advocating for him. It still took all this time. But I've been with Glenn Simmons the last few days in Oklahoma. He's only been out since July 19th, but he's got such a tremendous spirit, and he wants to dedicate what's left of his life. He's 70 now. He's dealing with liver cancer, but he looks good, and he's feeling good, except for when he's doing the chemo, and he wants to help work to help other guys in prison who are guilty, and also those who are innocent. You know, we're all grateful that the weather seems to have broken a little bit. It's not quite so hot, but you know, there's so many things that have to get fixed. I heard all the things you were talking about earlier in the show with the bathroom problems and the lockdowns and the food. You know, so these are just some of the highlights, and I'll try to get a little bit more focused the next time I come on. But I hope that that's enough to give you a flavor.
You did great.
You know, what I do want to say for those who would like to reach out, you know, our organization is headquartered in New York. It just happens to be where my co-founder, Scott Langley, who is a Texan, lives now. But his family, and he's from Dallas, and he actually came into this work after taking Rick Halpern's class on human rights at SMU. anyway, he handles the P.O. Box up in New York. That's P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, 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 New York 12075. But I invite y'all to write to me in my P.O. Box in Columbus, Ohio, and that's P.O. Box 9600, 9600 in Bexley, B-E-X, B as in boy, E-X-L-E-Y, Ohio 43209. And again, my name is Abe Bonowitz, B as in boy, O, N as in Nancy, O-W-I-T-Z. And, you know, we'll talk to anybody from anywhere. Our focus is death penalty. Resources are scarce, so we tend to be focused on who are the next people coming up in line for execution, and we do our best to respond to everybody. But again, you got Michael Zach in Florida on the 3rd, Jedediah Murphy in Texas on the 10th, William Spear in Texas on the 23rd of October, Brett Brewer in Texas on November 9th, and then the last one that's currently on the schedule in this calendar year is Phil Hancock in Oklahoma. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll probably get at least one more in Florida. Georgia can pop up anywhere. Tennessee can pop up again. They haven't had an execution in a few years, but that's coming. South Carolina's coming. And last bit of good news before I go, in Ohio, they've got a Republican-dominated everything, just like in Texas, crazy right-wingers, but Republicans are leading. The legislation has been introduced both in the Ohio House and the Ohio Senate to abolish the death penalty in Ohio, which for a while we used to call it the Texas of the North because they were executing so many people. Now it's Republican-led bills to abolish the death penalty, and of course we have a Republican governor, Mike DeWine, who, thank God, is a consistently pro-life Catholic. And I say that, thank God, in regards to the death penalty because he has just been resetting all the execution dates. He's not carrying any of them out, and we believe if we can get a bill in front of him, that he'll sign it, and we'll be able to abolish the death penalty in this current legislative session in Ohio.
Well, thank you, Abe.
There's some good news for you.
That's a lot.
Okay?
We really appreciate
Thank
you,
you
and
all.
we will see you week after next.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now on the schedule, Linda's in there answering calls. So there are still 2 open lines. Oh, they just filled right up at the same time. And remember, I'd like to remind everybody, if you call 713-526-5738, option number 2, and it sends you back to option number 2, and every time you push number 2, it sends you back to option number 2. That's because all 6 lines are busy, and you're stuck in a loop, and you have a choice. You can either call us back, or you can just keep hitting that 2 and stay in that loop, and as soon as an open line opens up, like right now we have an open line, and then you can get right in. So if you call right now, you have an open line. And Javier says they're having trouble out of line 5, and I think that's what it is you're having more people call. Remember last time I actually took that guy's picture, and it was on line 3, so I took a picture of his phone, and then we called him back. So sometimes that's happening, and we want to, got a few minutes before we go into a break song, and actually we went over a little bit, so I've only got a couple of minutes. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Number one, here at the prison show, we are volunteers. We're all volunteers. We don't get paid, and we know that we're fixing to have pledge drive come up again in October, and sometimes it gets old, and it gets old for us too. I mean, we wish that we could just have a big giant bank account and pay all our bills, and unfortunately, we are listener-sponsored radio. Or maybe I should say fortunately, because what happens with listener-sponsored radio is we don't have Big Brother telling us what we can have on the air and what we can't have on the air. So we get to bring the Death Row Angels. We get to bring Dani Sneed, the Encourager. We get to bring Abe Bonowitz, Marci Marie. That way, whenever we talk about things in TDCJ, nobody's telling us we can't talk about things in TDCJ. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but it's a good thing, but yet it's a bad thing because we're going to ask for money. And we have to ask for money because we have to pay the bills. So it's coming up. Get ready for it. But they're going to start counting everything that we get starting October 1st. So if you guys want to donate something, now's the time to get ready, because as of October 1st, even though we're not in pledge drive, it's going to start counting towards our goal. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Once we've got enough money in the coffers, or whatever you want to call it, we're not going to be pitching as hard as we would if we don't have enough money in the coffers. We also have, what do they call that, where they could sponsor us? Didn't they have a certain term for that, Dani? Because we're a non-profit, we can't do advertising. But what it is if you would like to, because it costs so much money per hour, and you want to sponsor us for our first hour, then we could say thank you so much and mention your name. But it's not really an advertisement. It can't be an advertisement. And you'd have to contact Robin Lewis in order to get the exact wording and the exact times. But it's more than just that time. It actually is several times during the week or several times during the month. It depends upon, how much sponsorship you actually are willing to go. So, that being said, Javier, you got the break song ready? You don't have your mic on, but
I sure do.
Buzzy Martin, you guys know Buzzy Martin. We play a song every Christmas, and he's got a new song out. What's the name of it, Javier?
It's called Prison Cell.
Well, let's get to it.
If it won't let me.
Come inside, take a seat. Long last we finally meet. Know that you heard my name. I'm your guide through prison. It's a big boy game. Always sleep with one eye open, or you wake up bleeding and broken. You be told when to eat, shower, and locked away another 23 hours. Seasons change from hot to cold. Sense to life, I want you grow. Juvenile Alta County Jail. Greetings, my friend, of your prison cell. This old cage is your fate. Cold and lonely, there is no escape. Give your soul, listen to me, trust no one in this penitentiary. Walls of deception surround your head. Are you alive or already dead? Know you're committing horrible crimes. Let's be honest while you're doing time. Seasons change from hot to cold. Sense to life, I want you grow. Juvenile Alta County Jail. Greetings, my friend, I'm your prison cell. I got some things that I have to say. See you beaten and raped every night and day. It's dark in here, called the solitary hole. The only light is from a distant glow. Most inmates grew up hurt and abused, hide their pain with prison tattoos. Strength to survive they will have to find behind the prison walls until they die. Seasons change from hot to cold. Sense to life, I want you grow. Juvenile Alta County Jail. Greetings, my friend, I'm your prison cell.
You're out of breath. Your constant dry cough just won't go away. It might be asthma, it might be COPD, but it could be interesting.
If you're now tuning in to KPFT Houston.
Yep. This is your final exam, Javier. You in there grinning. You're going to end up making an 85.
I thought I had it right there. That song, like that first song ended like, I only had like 60 seconds, no, like 40 seconds
then
left.
You play enough of an advertisement to get your
Definitely,
KPFT Houston in. I mean, timing's timing. Dead air is not a good thing for radio.
No, it's not. No.
It's just, if you're flipping through the channels and you hear dead air, you're going to keep on going to the next station.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop. You're not going to think, oh, KPFT's supposed to be there. If you're flipping through the channels, you don't even know.
Definitely.
But Marlo Blue asked me about you today, and she's our program director.
Oh, nice.
And I told her how good you were doing, and that tonight was your final exam, and I wasn't going to be in there looking over your shoulders.
Yeah, like.
So I'm sure she's probably tuning in, and she's marking X's on her
She's
paper.
taking points off, taking those points off.
All right, Dani, I'll stop interrupting for a little while if you want me to. Say, you know I'm a talker. I'm going to talk.
I know. He, apparently I'm doing stuff wrong, too, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
We're on the same team.
Yeah,
same team.
You and I can enjoy it. We're on the same team tonight.
Thank you.
We're both
I don't feel alone no more.
You shouldn't. No. And Linda was doing something wrong earlier, so we're all doing something wrong. Linda's looking at me. We can all join together.
I'll be doing something wrong in another couple of minutes. So.
Okay, Vivian on line 2.
Waving.
Are you there, Waving? Hello? If you can hear our voice, Waving? I guess Waving's not answering right now. You want to put him back on hold and take...
Okay, Waving, I'm David.
There you are.
Oh, David?
Is it David? Hello, we heard you talking. You're on KPFT, the prison show.
Hello, sir?
Yep. You guys are on the air. You can hear us. We hear you saying that. You say we can hear you. Is your name David? Is it? They wrote it as Waving.
He spelled it out for me.
Well, we can hear Linda too.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's put them back on hold and figure out if they're there, and let's go to another caller.
Okay.
What do you think, Angelica? Hello, Angelica.
Hello?
Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Oh, this is Anjanette. Oh. But I'll go by Angelica. That's fine. That's a pretty name. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
No,
Hi.
we want to make sure you have the right name, so that way your loved one can hear your shout-out.
Yeah, thank you. It's Anjanette. My name is Anjanette.
Hey, Anjanette.
Hi, Dani.
Hey, how you doing?
I am hanging in there. I'm hanging in there.
Oh, well, somebody hung up on her. Are you still there?
And now they dropped line 2 also.
Anjanette?
Hello?
Who's this?
It sounds like Miss Shirley.
This is Shirley.
Okay, Miss Shirley, go ahead with your shout-out. You're live on the air, because this is just it's not a good phone night, but we're going to go ahead and put you live on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi, Blaine. Love and miss you. Hold your head up, and hopefully everything will be back to the way it should be before too long, I'm hoping. I pray for all of y'all back there that everything goes good. And I tried to look up Chris Lane. I ain't found him yet, so I'm still looking. But everybody says tell you hi. They love you and hold your head up. And everybody's praying for you, including Miss Kurt. So we all love you and miss you, and you just hang in there. And I'll hang in there with you. I'm there with you. You just don't know it. But I love you. And thank y'all.
Thank you, Miss Shirley.
And Miss Carol. Hey, Carol, how are you? Hello, Carol. Can you hear my voice? Did you want to make a shout out? Man. Hello.
All right, Carol going once. Carol going twice. Carol.
Yep.
Oh, is that it? Okay, we're going to slide on over to line 6 because clearly everybody's sliding on over to other things. So we're going to go to line 6. Elizabeth.
1, 2, 3. Is this thing on?
Yep.
Hello.
You're on
Hi.
now.
Hi, guys. How are y'all this evening?
Well, we're evidently having some technical difficulties with the phone, so.
Yeah, I got that. What radio station, like, how do the guys inside listen to y'all? I got a letter from my guy, and he said I couldn't find it on 90.1.
Well, that's what depends on what unit he's at. We're on 90.1 in Houston, and they have to use the FM app right now because we're trying to get an app.
Okay, he's on holiday.
Yeah. Well, Huntsville has a repeater up there, so he should be able to get us, but we're slightly off at 90.1. But it's still right there, close to it. But there is a Hispanic station that's right there, and it'll walk all over us some nights.
Yeah, I remember whenever I moved away from Houston and I was up there, up north of y'all. It was. I could get y'all still, but it was hard.
Yeah, and whenever I was on the Bird unit, which is in Huntsville, I bought a dipole antenna and would throw it out the window. I was fortunate enough to have a window. And I never did get caught throwing it out the window, but I could actually pick it up better with my dipole antenna than I could with the coax.
Well, and he doesn't have a tablet yet because he just got in from county right before the lockdown.
Right.
So he doesn't have all that stuff. He's at the mercy of people doing favors. And by the way, everybody helping Pookie and Alex and Sam, thank y'all very much. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear me right now, but this is for Samuel Reynolds and Holiday Unit. I love you and radio squishies. I'm sending out radio squishies to all you guys. Tomorrow we should have a visit. It hadn't been canceled yet, thank God. I'm not as on the edge as I was before I started receiving letters from you. So thank you, and we'll figure out as soon as you can get stuff commissary. You'll be set up. I'll get you stamps and all that stuff. I think October is what we're looking at for that. And I will see you tomorrow. They do this on the kiosk, I guess, kind of like in county jail, if you don't have a tablet, from my understanding.
Okay.
So I will talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
And go up to Edward.
Oh, let's go to number 3. Anjanetta's the one that
She got dropped.
Hey, girl.
Yes. Jamie, hi. I'm glad I got back on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was holding. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay that you guys hang up on me. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't say that. We'll
do it again.
No, what's happening? No. No. How are you doing, Dani?
I'm making it. How you doing, girl?
Hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Yeah, I think we all are. We are all hanging in there.
I know.
Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to the man of my dreams, William Spear. He's at the Polensky unit on Life Row. You know, living life, changing lives on Life Row. Hi, howdy, my puffin. I miss you, my love. I can't wait to see you. Please call me tomorrow too. Please. What a day we had today. You give me something to look forward to. You know, I want to hold on to you so tight, you know, and I wish that we could, you know what I wish. I love you so much. Thank you for being amazing and charming, and thank you for loving me 9,000. You know, one of the reasons they say to get married in the Bible is so that we don't burn with passion. So come on, baby, light my fire.
She got hung up on.
Who hung up on her? Oh, my God.
She was singing, "Come on, baby, light my fire."
Did y'all really do that? Did y'all really hang up on her? Who's going to...
Somebody's calling back in there.
She was talking to her Puffin.
Yeah.
Puffin. She was... I'm looking at you. She didn't want to look at me. Look at that. Okay, we're going to go to Edward. Edward on line 1. He cannot be Puffin, but he is Edward. Edward on line 1.
Javier.
Edward
can you push
on
number 1?
Hey, Edward.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
hey,
we can now.
Y'all screwing up big tonight, aren't y'all?
We are. You know what? David's sitting next to me in here, and what can I say?
Yeah.
It's all David's fault, yeah.
Hey, David, I hope you got my email. I'd like to come join y'all sometime. You're going to have to let me know what on a Friday. I'd like to come on down there and volunteer and help y'all out for one night. I'd love to do that. I really would. You're just going to have to let me know. I sent you an email earlier this week.
Yeah, I saw the email that somehow or another had gotten over in my spam folder, and I sent it back over the other way. And then today I've been outside working all day. Javier and I worked on my front gate, so I just haven't had a lot of computer time today. So I will get back with you, I promise.
Yeah, let me know when y'all need some young blood. I'll take the trip out there, and I'll come volunteer out for a couple hours and help y'all out. I really do.
Yeah.
But skipping that, also, let's get real for a second. My shout-out is, I don't know anyone currently locked up in TDCJ, but I just know there's a lot of families hurting tonight, and there's a lot of good people out there crying and thinking about each and every one of y'all right now. You know, nobody is alone in all this. We're all suffering, and I just hope these families can, you know, get on their knees and just say thank you and, you know, be able to talk to their family members and all this craziness that goes on with TDCJ and how they can't make up their mind or their decisions, what they're going to do sometimes. And I'm hoping one day I will always say this, I hope we abolish the death penalty in Texas. You know, I'm hoping for the day then when I can go to the Texas Prison Museum and they say we have a new exhibit, we have the gurney, and it's never going to be used again, you know? I'm really happy to be here tonight. I know we executed someone yesterday in Oklahoma, but we got to stop the killing, y'all. We got to stop the killing. We got to end this death penalty stuff. And I know we got a couple coming up in October, and I'm going to be there protesting and letting people know what not in my name, y'all.
Well, we appreciate you, Edward, and of course, Linda and I will be out there, and we'll have a lot of support. So we welcome any and all boots on the ground.
Yeah, and I'd like to say one more thing. Can you get that lady back on? I don't know the rest of the song, the rest of the words of that song, by the way. That Light My Fire. I'd like to hear the rest of that song.
Oh, Puffin is holding right now.
She's on line 5, so whenever you're finished, we're going to see if she'll finish that song.
Yeah.
Hey, KPFT family, I love y'all. I wish y'all the best. Everyone out there, each and every one of y'all's families, everyone currently being locked up right now, I wish y'all the best. Keep y'all's heads up. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to y'all soon. All right, guys?
Thanks, Edward.
Thank you.
Good night, y'all.
All right. Let's go to line 5.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Okay, you guys, I'm not going to sing. I won't sing.
No, we want you to sing. That's why we wanted to hear the rest of the song.
Puffin is waiting for you to sing. He is waiting, and Puffin will not stand for this. I need to hear it, girl.
Oh, my gosh. That's all I'm going to do for tonight. I'm so sorry, guys.
I was looking forward to it.
To answer that question, that's Jim Morrison, Come On Baby Light My Fire. It's a good song.
It's a great song. I love that song. Love
it is. All right, let me finish my shout out so I can have other people come through. So I was saying, here's something to give everyone to think about. You know, hopefully it puts things in perspective for someone listening tonight. And it's Corinthians 13. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. And it will always persevere. So, my love, I will always protect your heart. I will always protect you. And this is what you give to me. So I'm so happy that I met you. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. I love you more than you will ever know. And you love me more than you will ever show. So I also wanted to say hi to all of Big Will's friends. He was supposed to give me a list, but he didn't want to leave anyone out. So I hope you guys have a good night. Don't step on the crickets. You have to flush them down the toilet because all lives matter, right? God bless, and as always, bless others. I love you, Will, my baby. I'll see you in our dream. I love you, and Dani, Linda, you guys have a good night. Take care, and I hope to see you guys soon at Visit.
We hope to see you too.
All right, good night, guys. God bless.
God bless. All right. How about Manuela's calling from Germany? So let's slide on over there.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, girl?
I'm fine. Again, I had a little surgery this week at my eye, but everything is all right.
Oh, good.
He put a little tumor near the eye outside, and he removed it. And I think it's good. I hope it's good. How you done, Dani? How your birthday was?
It was very, very good. Some very good friends made it a very special day. And this weekend's going to be even better. And I appreciate you thinking of me very much.
Yes, every time, my dear.
You're awesome. You're awesome. And so is your wonderful husband. He wished me a happy birthday, too. You both are a very sweet couple.
He's very sensitive his birthdays, I know. And I think he's smiling now. Hey, baby. I know. He's smiling and laughing. And he enjoys every Friday night. So I will make my shout out to my wonderful husband, my big, big, great, true love of my life. I hope you're all right, baby. I'm all right. The family is all right, too. Only one is sick again, but so many persons. Always one is sick. It's our daughter this time. I hope that she will feel better very soon. And I want you to know that I'm always thinking about you, baby. That I'm always thinking of you, every minute. And we have an annoyed cat here again. Yes. We have the fall now here in Germany. Today it was a rainy day and cold and windy. And I miss the sunshine. And I miss my special sunshine, my husband. Shut up. Baby, I'm so very grateful and honored and blessed to have you in my life. You make me the happiest wife in the world. And I love you with all my heart, baby. And you are the best that ever had happened to me. You are my life, baby. Always and forever. We will never give up our hope. And I'm by your side for the rest of my life. We belong together, baby. So you will get some messages tomorrow from your wife. If Secure is working. My sunshine, I miss you. I love you, and I need you to survive. I love you more than you ever could imagine. Good night, baby. Sweet and pleasant dreams to you. I love you with all of my heart. Yes, the cat loves you too. She makes me sick now. Good night, my love. Sweet and pleasant dreams. I will write you tomorrow. Love you, love you, love you, love you with all my heart. Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys, for everything you do. I love you all, and I appreciate you.
We love you too, Manuela. Oh, somebody.
Cut her
damn.
right off. That was quick.
That was a quick draw.
Yeah. I'd like to remind y'all we do have a couple open lines.
That was a quick
cleared one up really quick.
Yeah.
You guys call 713-526-5738, option number 2. And again, if you get caught in that loop and it keeps sticking you back over there to hit 2, just hit 2 again. You'll just keep going around and around and around.
Okay. So. Go ahead and play Caitlin.
This is a shout-out for Bethel Garza and Polunsky. Hey, Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health and spirits and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, well, I'm back in work and I am actually just outside work now, about to go in. I went back on Monday, and yeah, it's actually good to be back. It's kind of keeping my mind occupied and getting back to some normality. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. Buddy is doing good, and Daytona is doing good. And I will see Buddy tomorrow, and I give him some carrots for you, and I will give Daytona some belly rubs. I hope everything is good with you. Please know that you're forever in my heart, thoughts, and prayers, and that I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. So, good night, sweet dreams, and please stay safe. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
Thank you, Miss Caitlin. I guess we're going to Carol. Hello, Carol.
Hello.
Hey, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Well, we're okay, but you got to find that sweet spot, because one place you're standing or your 1 foot you're standing on, you don't have a very good signal, and the other one is really strong.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you now.
Okay. I want to send a shout out to my Sahilo at the Polinsky unit. I want him to know that I love him dearly. And I want him to know that for him not to lose his faith, that he has a God-fearing mother that prays for him night and day. We miss him dearly, and we hope that we are able to visit him soon. I do have my grandson on another line at another household trying to get a hold of him. His daughter to tell him that she loves him dearly, and she really was waiting to tell him that I love you, boy, and to know that you are blessed, you're highly favored, you're a child of God, and don't lose your faith no matter what. And he is my strength. He's my strong. And I want him to know that I love and miss him dearly, but we are okay. And I really appreciate you guys for putting this together. And we just figured out the phone system, so we've called like 7 times, but thank you, God. We got through so we can send our shout out to my son, Marcelo, at the Polinsky unit.
Well, thank you,
Thank you so much. We appreciate your perseverance with the phone system.
Yes, and God is good. Thank you guys for blessing them to be able to hear our voices, especially during the lockdown time, when it's hard for us loved ones that miss them dearly. And I really appreciate you guys so much for the opportunity for allowing us to speak and sending messages out to our loved ones, because my son is very loved and missed.
Well, thank you for calling. We really appreciate you. Call us next week.
I sure will. I'll get you all the cousins coming.
Hey, get
Y'all
the
have
whole
a
family.
blessed night.
Thank you so much.
We will. Trust
Yeah,
me.
line them up. Bye-bye.
I will. He knows. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You want to go to Paula?
That's fine.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Paula.
How are y'all? I have a shout out from my best friend Bobby Woods at the Vance unit. From the first letter that he wrote me until today, he's become my best friend. He makes me laugh. He understands and he never judges me. I love him so much. And he agrees that when he gets out, the first thing we're going to do is fire that lady that says on the phone, "You got 1 minute left." We're firing her. And a shout out to his son, Bobby Woods Jr. at the Punsky unit. His dad said he loves him and stay strong. And thank y'all for everything y'all do for us.
Well, we thank you for calling in.
And y'all have a blessed day and stay safe and happy. Have a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Y'all have a good night.
Bye-bye, Miss Paula. And you want to go to Mysterious Mike? Dead air.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing shout-outs for the prison show. I'd like to do shout-outs to the guys of Texas, Guy Alexander, David Russell, Stephen McGee, Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul, shout-out for Philip Perez, shout-out for Philip in Dallas. Hopefully you're doing much better. Shout-out to Stephen McGee, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out to Hawes. Shout-out to the Yovan. Shout-out to Matt. Shout-out to Thomas. Shout-out to Dean. And I'd like to do some shout-outs to Bill R. Sims. I'd like to do shout-out to Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're doing much better. Raymond Lee Cart and Stephen McGee. And hope everybody is going to be enjoying the first day of fall that starts at 1:50 a.m. Summer will be over. And now back to the prison show. Adios.
Does that mean it's going to get cooler? Probably not. It's Texas. Hello, Miss Amy.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, we're blessed.
Okay. Thank y'all for what y'all do. I just want to tell my hubby Flacco at Polensky that I miss you like crazy. I can't wait till we get to visit. I want you to know you're an amazing man, a wonderful father to Mijo and Mija, and stepdad to little Stewie and her mean little self. Just never forget, I got you. You got me, so we got this. And I hope you sleep good. I love you. To the moon and back. XOXO, your wifey for lifey. And that's it.
You remind
Thank
me
y'all
of
so
Cher.
much for what.
Remember the Cher? I got you, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know you get
I
3
got
minutes,
him.
right? You can say some more.
No, I didn't know. This is the first time I've ever listened.
Yeah, you got 3 minutes to say whatever you want to say within reason, of course. You can't say the 7 deadlies.
Oh. I just thank y'all for what y'all do. This is the first time I've listened. I think y'all are awesome. Letting them get to hear our voices is really neat, and all the advocates that y'all have on there. And it's just awesome. So thank y'all.
Well, thank you so much
Maybe
for tuning
Maybe next time I'll have more to say.
in. Yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yes. Thank y'all so much. I love you, Flacco.
All right, thank you. Samantha?
Stephen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening. Hi. I have a shout out for a couple of my sons and my little brother. Harry Rayner is at the Ellis unit. Little brother, I love you. Things are going good, one day at a time. Mom's doing good. And to my boys, Jet out at the Middleton unit and Jake, no. Nicholas out at Childress at the Roach unit. I love you guys. Y'all hang in there, and y'all be home before you know it. Bubba, Alice is on the line trying to get in to give you a shout out.
All right.
All right. We love you guys, and thank you guys for what y'all do.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
All right. And Miss Lydia. You want to hit line 6? There you go. Hey, Miss Lydia.
Hi there, David. Hi. I hear Dani's still celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a birthday month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Sounds
the new
good.
thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'll send a shout out to my son Beto. Mijo, I just spoke with Tia early, and she's half asleep watching TV at home. And called Tio Coca, and he sends his regards and says they are 4 hours away from the coast and have not received any wind or rain up in North Carolina yet. So hopefully all will be well that way. Sends his hellos, and Theo Jr. just made it home a few minutes ago. His van is there in the back. And I want to send a special shout out to Jedediah. Happy anniversary to you and Bella. Sending blessings your way. Okay? Congratulations. And I want to send my hellos to the guys. You know who you are. William Spear, you, Rudy, Eric, Lane, Artie, Moises, Roderick, Ivan, sending our hellos your way. Okay? And I love you, mijo. Get some rest, get some sleep, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And thanks to everyone for making this possible. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you,
I
Lydia.
really appreciate all you do for me. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
And Miss Patty. Hello, Miss Patty.
Hello.
Hey.
The shout out is for Humberto. Mijito, I just heard your mom. Just wanted to know, Tio Juan's doing okay, Mijito. I'm doing okay myself. Like she said, your Tio just got home. I don't know where he was at, but he made it home, thank God. I'm working on my charts, trying to finish up before Tuesday. They will do that procedure on Tuesday, mijo. I know everything will come out great. I'm in God's hands, mijo. I love you. I miss you. Hello to the guys, Rudy, Jeff, Big Lou, everyone. I mean, Juan. Take care, guys. I love you, mijo. Bye.
Bye-bye, Miss Patty.
Back to the shout-out show. Thank you.
And last, Miss Stacy.
This is to my husband, Sporty Black at Wainwright Unit. Hey, baby love. This is your wife, kissing you our strength. I trust we got our whispers earlier, us all up in each other's ear. It's been a paced day. Mimi and I made it to town, did some shopping, but before that we showed some love first thing this morning to AP. Yeah, we published all the T's. Then gave some love to VP, getting the most recent Ombudsman post published and shared on all the platforms. Boo, I'm yet to get the outstanding 9/18th e-notes, but I'll trust you've heard from me the outstanding e-note that I've sent you. But the girls and I are doing well. Baby, you sounded all that last night, and we're good, baby. But it's that time. Remain healthy and safe. Stay focused and tough and strong. And know we're solid and real, boo. I gotta wish you a happy birthday. Yep, an early one. Happy birthday, baby. Mwah. I love you, sweetheart. Take care. Mwah. You're mine as I'm all yours. Mwah. I love you, babe.
All right. Linda. Do you want to do your shout-outs, Linda?
Yes, okay.
But before you do your shout-outs, I think everyone's been hearing about my birthday. Yeah, my birthday was Wednesday, this past Wednesday. But Linda's birthday is coming up. See, we're both in September.
Oh, it's both your birthday month.
Yes.
So that means Javier and I are supposed to sing happy birthday.
Yeah.
He don't have his mic on. He thinks he's doing something.
Do you?
Hey, okay, go ahead with your shout-outs, Miss Linda.
Okay. I want to say a shout-out to Bobby Woods and Bobby Woods Jr., Gregory Truitt, Frank Gill, Stephen Russell. I know you're listening. You just won't call in. Tyrone Williams, Franklin Davis, Luke Myers, William F. Owens Sr., Paul DeVoe, James Calvert, Gary D. Green, Herschel Wheeler, Lucky Ward, Jaime Cole, Brian Davis, Samuel Solomon, John Green, Bill Sims, Stephen Curry, Joel White, Damon Wilson, Stephen Bachman, Sonny Wilson, Curtis Robertson, Brian Bolt, Roy E. Addix, Milton Gobert, Pete Russell, Samuel Montanez, Ray, Juan Mejia, Miller L., Sheldon Jones, Thomas Nix, Curtis Allen, Christopher Curtis, Curry Richardson, Roderick Harris, Michael Ferguson, Daniel Tellis, Nazario Vasquez, Gilbert Romero, a.k.a. Chief, Hector De Leon, Rudy Martinez, Joe Luna, and Raul Chavez, Michael Moyer, Willie Torres, and Troy Glover. Good night, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, I'm going to do some really quick shout-outs and special thank you to everyone who wished me a happy birthday. Y'all made it wonderful. Roderick Harris, shout out to you. Curtis, Colonel Sanders, Curtis Claus, hey. Rue, Moy, Jeff, Javen Story, Willie Torres, Britt, Leroy, my friend Leroy at the PAC unit, hey. Larry, Joel, Paul DeVoe, I swear, sometimes if, you know what, ooh. Creeper, T, Big Head, Brian Bolt, Kevin Stewart, and Rexalicious, yes. And we were talking, or David sent me an updated, I sent, the contraband update, what everyone's, seeing, the contraband update, what you sent me.
5 hours ago?
Oh, yeah, 5 hours ago. I sent it to one of my friends who asked for it, and I also sent him a meme at the same time. That he didn't get either thing, and the meme was very, it was a stupid one.
Right.
So,
so they're censoring everything.
I guess so. Anyway.
Why would they not want them to know that they're finding all kinds of
you would think they would. Anyway, the contraband update from the TDCJ website, not the website, but the Facebook page. Is this the Facebook page?
Yeah, it's your Facebook page.
So far, what they're publicizing is 284 cell phones have been found, or parts of a cell phone, 347 weapons, 833 criminal offenses, 308 drug discoveries, 214 other dangerous items.
Yeah, well, 284 cell phones, 347 weapons, and 308 drug discoveries should be even a lot more than 833 criminal offenses.
I know. It's like
that
that's
doesn't
what
quite
I
add
was
up there, does it?
But then when you go down, it's like the people that are commenting, it's like, good job, staff.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that what they're posting and what they're saying that they find is so that people can say those things.
I know.
They're trying to justify the digital mail and different things.
Which, again, don't forget the digital mail. Oh, when you go here, that it says $376 in currency, 38 gallons of alcohol. It's a lot of alcohol. There's so many things I want to say, but I shouldn't. I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't say 169 actionable tips which led to a bulletin being put out to the units. So I guess the hotline.
That hotline.
Yeah, the hotline.
It could have been those snitch 60s, though.
Snitch 60s?
Yeah. Ray used to talk about them all the time. Snitch 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know how many snitch 60s get dropped in the box all the time, every day.
Amen. and make no mistake, they are those are snitch.
Snitch 60s. That's exactly what they are.
No mistake. And if you're doing it, I still can't. Some people are. I'm still getting. Someone's trying to change my address. Still.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I have a funny feeling I know who it is. But
is it the same person that showed you that post a while ago?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's who I think it is. And I did tell because I'm filing a complaint because I'm like, hello, why are you trying to change my address? What? At any rate,
So they're trying to change it with TDC?
No, with the actual post office.
With the actual post office.
It's a federal thing.
Aren't they supposed to send some kind of verification when you turn in one of them cards?
And they are. Yeah. And they're doing, and the post office, because I changed it, online.
Right.
And this person, whoever did it, changed it with a card, I guess. And it's, I'm like,
yeah,
really?
That's a federal offense.
Yeah, it really is. It's it's like, why would you even? Oh.
Yeah, they're petty. They're being petty.
Very petty, and they're mental.
It's kind of sad, and it's been going on for years.
Yeah, it's like they don't give up at all. Anyway,
so we have line 1 early.
Early.
It's not too late to pick up early.
No.
There we go. Hey, Early.
Thank you. Hi, Darren. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling
Hi,
in.
Mijo. Thank you. Hi, Mijo. This is Tia Early. Hoping that you find yourself in good health and with a big smile on your face if you're hearing me. I thank God that I was able to come by and see you. I enjoyed the visit with your mom. We had a great time. And seeing you made me very happy. I hope that everything's going well for you. Don't forget, God is with you. And hope that you're still going to that Bible study. And keep that smile, son. I love you, miss you, and send you a lot of love and a lot of hugs. We're doing well. Alex's little girl's going to be, her birthday was on the 17th, but Alex is going to have her birthday this Sunday. We don't have any little ones right now, but hopefully we'll have a couple of little ones coming to her birthday party. But basically it's going to be adults because there's no little ones. But Sunday we'll be celebrating her birthday, her second birthday. She's tall and big and loves to talk and loves to sing. And she knows how to pray as well. Here's your Theo so he can say hi. Layla continues going to school, And Raylan's back from New York. Layla went to Dallas to a concert, and she enjoyed it. And Raylan also had a good time, but she couldn't wait to come home and eat a Whataburger. You know how those Whataburgers taste. They're good, but she was happy to be home. And Frank's doing okay. Still has a lot of pain every day, but thank God he's here. Theo Juan went through his first chemotherapy today, and everything went well. So far, so good. He has a long ways to go, but we're praying that everything continues to go in his favor. Here's Theo ready to say hello and good night to you, son. I love you, and sending you a big hug. Here's Theo Ray.
Oh, Beta. Hopefully you're doing fine. Aquí estamos watching nomás TV también, so no, Friday afternoon, so ya comimos y todo, so we're doing good. Mostly your tia said everything, so there's nothing much for me to say, so I'm doing good. Today I was fixing your tia's car también, so but got it done early because it was real hot this afternoon, so had to put it underneath on a shade tree. Pero como quiera, I'm doing good, and hopefully you're doing good too. So we'll see you and have a blessed night tonight.
Sending you a lot of hugs, mijo. Love you. Thank you for taking my call, guys.
Oh, anytime to you. Miss
Thank
Early,
you.
we appreciate it. What is
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if anyone wasn't aware, now I don't know how to pronounce his last name. His first name is Billy Shamirmir. I think that's how you pronounced it. He was convicted of killing, I think, around 22 people or women in around the Dallas area. He was being held at the Cofield prison.
Right.
And during this lockdown, his cellie killed him. I think it was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So that happened on Tuesday during the lockdown because of the violence. So that happened. And since last week...
what about the other thing that happened at Cofield? Isn't there a guy that's in prison? He's in the hospital?
Yeah, we already announced that. Yeah. See, he doesn't listen to me.
I have ADHD. Give me
Yeah,
a break.
I know. And since last show, of course, Saturday, woke up to Kim Paxton was found.
That was, yeah.
That really?
I mean, first off, the prosecutor just rests the case.
I know. Yeah.
And then says, oh, no, wait a minute. I meant to say that I'm finished with the witness. You done rested the case. Dan Patrick done told him, quit. You already rested the case. It's over with.
Yeah.
You know, he said, but I have a few more things to talk about. There were 16 indictments, and then here they just rest the case.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah.
So it was politics. It wasn't about the thing.
No, it wasn't about that. It was politics. Yeah. Everybody knows my politics. But we have Elizabeth online, too.
Hi, can you hear me?
We sure can. How you doing, Elizabeth?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
We are making it.
Oh, good. Well, my shout-out goes to Isidro. Hey, mijo. It was good to hear your voice tonight, and I'm going to send you your pictures of the cat tomorrow of Mr. Sebastian. And also, yeah, it's a new cat. And also your books should be shipped. It says that they were shipped today. And I checked my email just a little while ago, so they're already sent off. So hopefully you'll get them next week. But Dad's already in bed. He said to tell you he loves you and hopes to talk to you tomorrow. But the girls went to San Antonio to see Lorenzo, so they didn't get a shout out today. But just want to tell you I love you and just have a good night. Thank you, everybody. Good night, mijo. I love you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And Danny was just asking me about Captain Tom. Captain Tom's got a family issue tonight, so he didn't call in and have a shout-out. So we hope that Captain Tom's okay.
We miss our regulars when we're used to hearing your voice every week, like Clarence. Haven't heard from Clarence in a while. I know he was having some health issues.
Yeah.
So Clarence Bowman.
He's been going through chemotherapy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. And we haven't heard from Freddie,
yeah.
But he's got a newlywed, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's probably quite busy.
Yeah, he's busy. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah. They went on their honeymoon, and they went down to Corpus. And that's kind of where Dee Dee and I went. We went to Padre Island, which is not South Padre Island, but we went to regular Padre right there at Corpus. And Dee Dee said she'd never been there. You know, most people go to the tourist South Padre Island, but Padre Island is just as nice. We went to Bob Hall Pier. It was kind of funny because here we are on our honeymoon. We went by the bait shop and we're asking them who all's catching fish and what are they catching. And they're talking about the couple that was out on Bob Hall Pier catching, and they started naming off all the fish we had been catching. So I guess we were the only ones catching the fish.
Javier was talking about hunting, and I was like, no, you can't do that. No.
You don't want him to go kill Bambi?
No. Absolutely not.
Venison's good meat.
Not when I know it.
Well, do you eat cow?
I don't know it.
I mean, just because that was Bessie at one point in time.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Whenever I was at Calvary Commission, we had a cow we called Cheeseburger. And every time I'd go in the field, it was like, oh, Cheeseburger.
No. I'm still in shock over Joy's chicken named Rodney. I'm like, no.
Or would you tell the story earlier about a rabbit, another that had a freezer holiday or something?
That was Joy's Rodney, and she told me it was in freezer camp.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean freezer camp? And then it hit me, and I'm like, oh, no.
Whenever I was growing up, I had a cousin who had a bunch of rabbits, I guess, and my uncle had always told him the whole time they were raising the rabbits that was for dinner. And he didn't believe him. And one day the rabbits were all gone, and my uncle told him, he said, well, we told you they were for dinner. And he said, well, where are they? And they're in the pot. They're going to be dinner. So, I mean, that's, you know, if you're not a vegan, that's what you end up going through.
Yeah, H-E-B and Kroger, yeah, we got to go. I don't know them. You know, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that cow, so it's not a big deal, huh?
Yeah, no. I didn't know that cow or that chicken, but I had a personal relationship with Rodney. I knew him.
Oh, so sorry.
Me and Rodney had it going on. Yeah.
So, Joe Donaldson sent me a message, and some of you guys probably keep up with more current events than I do, but I just wanted to mention we got a couple of minutes left, and it's not really prison news, but it is because Moby passed away, and Moby had sent a shout-out and made a promo for us years ago. And those of you guys that know about the prison show, we also had Dave Matthews on. Dave and Moby were on 97 Rock whenever I was growing up. And then it's not one of the 7 deadlies, but Moby got fired from 97 Rock for saying fart on the air. So I don't know why they would fire him, because it's not one of the 7 deadlies. You can say
saying fart?
You can say fart, but yet they fired him for saying fart. And he went up to Dallas, and he was with the Eagle for a while. And then they had a contest here in Houston, and they brought Moby back several years later, and you had to guess what song he was going to play again. So he played Back in the Saddle again. Yeah. So
I don't get that. Why would they fire him over fart?
Because it was just not appropriate, I guess.
Taboo?
It was taboo. And nowadays they say all kinds of other words. You can't say certain words, but, I mean, they say them anyway.
Well, farting is taboo.
Well, I mean, you can be pissed off, but you can't be the other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just, FCC's got some weird rules. And then I remember whenever Ray was here, we talked about the rock and roll group called Pussy Riot. You can talk about them because it's a rock and roll group, but you can't talk about the other thing. So we got a caller on line 1. Lupe.
Yes, hi.
Hey, Lupe. Go ahead. You got in just in time.
Great, you can hear me. Well, I've been calling for several weeks. I can't get through.
Well, whenever all the calls are full, we've only got 6 lines, and it'll make you go through a loop, and you got to be persistent.
I see. Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. My shout-out is for Isidro de la Cruz, and I just wanted to do my shout-out and let him know that I'm thinking of him, praying for him. Everybody's okay. The kid, Nathan, is in school. They're doing fine. He's doing fine. Him and his brother doing fine. Everybody's good. I wanted to let you know, Isidro, that I spoke to your mom. She may come to visit soon. She did tell me she was coming by to visit, and but we had a nice conversation. And just wanted to do my shout out and let you know that I'm praying for you and have you in my mind. That was it, and I want to thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Lupe.
Thank you.
And
okay, bye-bye.
All right,
bye-bye.
Right.
So Moby had stage 4 stomach cancer, so we're going to miss Moby. You know, I hadn't heard anything from Moby in years, so but coming up next, we'll have Cnvrge, and born in a college radio station on the University of Houston campus. The 2 guys, DJ Nico and Chris, they'll play a lot of techno music for you. And, you know, I've jammed to them a little bit on the way home. It's different. It's not exactly my type of music, but it is. You like it, Javier? You talking about?
No, he's just taking 1 minute.
He's stretching, yeah.
No, it's 1 minute. He's
yeah, now he's in there. He's bebopping to the techno music. So you'll be in the truck tonight. You can listen to some techno music. So you want to say bye to everybody?
I do.
Well, go right on ahead.
I say it going out. That's my thing. That's me. That's my thing.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Tune in again next week. And in case you missed it, let your loved ones know that we're still on the air. We're still here for you. And they can call 713-526-5738, option number 2, after 9:45 and do a shout-out. And we appreciate you guys. Hey, you got Charlie and the Regrets all lined up? Let's go jam.
Have a great weekend, guys.